Good evening, everyone. First of all, big respect. It's past 9 p.m. and you have survived a full day of work. And instead of Netflix, you chose us. So that's already the most productive decision of the day you have made. So, welcome to the vibe building session with Lovable. But wait a minute. Who am I? Although Suraj introduced me very well, but let me do the honors again. So, hi, I am Siddhant. But for short and sweet, I prefer Sid. It's been 5 years for me into design, code, and turning weird ideas into real products. Talking about my journey, I started out as a software engineer at Capgemini and shifted into design. Now I currently work as a UX designer at Deloitte. Usually, you will find me playing around with all this crazy AI tools or with my guitar. Now, let's understand what exactly is vibe coding or vibe building. So, vibe coding is an art of building applications with just prompts. You just vibe with AI and let it do all the heavy lifting for you. Also, you don't need to at all have any coding knowledge for it. You can just prompt your idea and that's it. Your app will get ready. Usually, a traditional coding looks like to set up, debug, and cry a lot for errors. But with vibe coding, you just describe your idea, click generate, and your app is ready. But before we jump into Lovable, let's understand what exactly is happening behind the scenes. Now, let's try to understand what AI is and what LLMs are, because they are the brains behind this vibe. So, AI, this is artificial intelligence. So, consider it like a super smart robot brain. It helps machine to think, learn, and make decisions like a human does, but based on data and instructions. Now, on the other hand, we have LLM, which are large language models. It's a special kind of AI that's really good at understanding and generating human language. Now, if I have to give you an example for AI and LLM, so for AI, when a YouTube recommends a video you might like, that's AI at work. And for example of an LLM could be ChatGPT, Google, Google Gemini, Claude, etc. But if I have to give another example, so I can think of like AI is like a Bollywood and LLMs are like Shah Rukh Khan, not the whole industry, but he carries half of it on his shoulders. Now, let's meet with the boss of the day. What is lovable.dev? So, Lovable is basically a tool that lets you build apps with just prompts. It will help you create full-fledged application with database connection. And if you are a dev, you know how challenging a task can be to connect your front-end application to a back-end code. Now, talking about LLMs, Lovable uses a couple of them, such as OpenAI and Anthropic's model and Claude as well. Also, recently they announced that for time being, you can use GPT-5, which is like super cool. So Lovable by default generates the code in React, Tailwind CSS, and Vue.js. And you don't need to go deeply into this stuff, but it's good to know in what language your app is getting built in. Now let's understand how to craft a better prompt to build better apps. Let me show it to you with an example. So if you prompt something like, okay, build me a landing page, most probably you're not going to get your desired result. And that's why I call it as meh prompting. But if you prompt something like create a modern HTML5 landing page for a health and mindfulness app with a hero section, three features, and footer using Tailwind CSS, and also make it responsive as well, then the chances are high that you will get better results. Because here you are providing proper context, assigning a task, and also setting some constraints, which is recommended by a lot of documentation from Lovable itself. And that's why I call it as quasi prompting. So now let me flex a little bit. So I have created a lot of application using Lovable. Uh, First in the list is retro games. So think of it like a collection of all the nostalgic games you might have played in your childhood. I created all of this with just Lovable, and also I hooked it up with Supabase for database connection, which also helped me to implement login and sign up feature to this application. And currently, this application also maintain a game history for each and individual user. After retro games, we have Social Shop Circle, which is like an e-commerce application with social twist. In this application as well, I used Supabase for login and sign up, and I even went a step forward and integrated Stripe payment gateway as well, where you can actually buy and pay for a product in this particular application. So if any of my dev folks are here, you know how complicated it is to integrate payment gateway in an application. So now let's dive more deeper into Lovable, and I will show you how I created retro games and social shop circles. Let me just okay, yeah. So when you will land to Lovable website, you will see a interface like something like this, which consists of input field where you can of course like prompt and give context, and that context will get converted to an real application. We also have a few features here. If you click on this plus icon, you can see that there is a feature called import from Figma. So basically now you can create your designs in Figma and you can import that particular design into Lovable as well. And that design will automatically get converted into a full-fledged working application. We also have attach features where you can attach images. We also have workspace. So think of workspace like for example, if you are making a Lovable project and if you want to make that particular project public or private, this helps you in that. So usually in free tier plan, your Lovable project is default by default public, but for making your Lovable project a private project, you need to buy the pro plan. So yeah, this is about the workspace part of the Lovable. Then we have Supabase. So Supabase, I will touch point on this Supabase soon, but think of it like you can create database in Supabase and you can directly hook it up into your Lovable application here. So this feature is also present in Lovable. Now below you can see some example applications. For example, slide deck, presentation, bill splitter. So if I click on this bill splitter, automatically some prompts are getting generated, and this is directly given by Lovable. But yeah, of course, these are some example application which you can test it out. Now I will show you how Lovable workspace look like. This is the entire Lovable workspace, and if you scroll a little bit below, you can see community where people are creating some amazing and crazy stuff, and you can eventually remix this particular project as well from community. Now let's jump into a particular project. So I will showcase how I created retro games, and let's jump into this particular Lovable project of retro games. Yeah. So when you land into a particular Lovable project, you can see an interface like this, where on the right hand side we have the output of the application, and on the left hand side we have input field as well. So here you can prompt your idea and context, and whatever you will prompt, basis on that, Lovable will generate an output, and you will be able to see it on your right side of the project. Now we have couple of features here as well. If you click on this plus icon, we have a lot of feature here. Basically, you can push your Lovable code to GitHub account. You can also see your version history of your Lovable project, which is very similar to Figma version history. We have knowledge. So what knowledge basically means is you can add custom knowledge to your project. You can add some custom instructions and guidelines to your particular the lovable project. Then moving forward, we have project settings. We have Supabase, of course, and we also have attach image option. Now let's move to edit option. So we have a feature called edit. Now, how this helps is like, for example, imagine if you just want to um, edit a particular feature. For example, if you just want to edit a single button or maybe single text element. So this feature helps a lot for that. Okay, so if you, for example, if you just want to say that, okay, make this button a little slightly bigger, or make this button more stylish or something like that. So you can just click on this edit, and you can go on your right hand side panel, and you can just click on any of the elements. And when you click on any button, so you will get option like ask for quick changes, and here you can directly prompt for this particular button, and you can prompt just to change this particular button here. And this is the edit feature. Now in Lovable we have two types of mode. By default, Lovable runs in agent mode, and we also have chat mode. So what agent mode does is whatever you will prompt in Lovable, it will structurize, it will plan, and it will execute that execute the output directly right here. So basically, in short, if I have to explain, in agent mode, Lovable will do everything for you. You just have to prompt. That's it. But in chat mode, you have some control over things. So basically, if Lovable is making some decision for you, then you have control that, okay, if I want to go with this decision or not, if I want to accept this particular decision or not. So you have that control over your output of the application. So these are two modes. Agent mode, basically it will directly integrate all the code, all the output directly into your Lovable application, your output. And in chat mode, it's like, okay, you have control over the decision and planning stuff. Now let's go to top right section where you can see we have invite feature. This is very similar to Figma, where you can invite your vibe coding buddies, your friends here by entering their email, and you can provide them edit and view access and so on. Then we have Supabase here. I will explain this briefly later, but let's go to GitHub. So this is the interesting part, right? So if you click on, so this project is currently connected with a GitHub repository already, but let me show you how you can configure a GitHub account as well in Lovable. So you can, currently it's already connected to a repository, but uh, here you will see a connect CTA if you haven't connected your GitHub already. So you can directly connect all your Lovable code. You can transfer your Lovable code directly to uh, to your GitHub repository. Now we have publish option where you can see that, okay, if you publish your application, it will generate a link, and you can share this link to any of your friends. And there's a new feature which Lovable introduced recently, which is called review security, and it's a tool that analyzes your entire application code for potential security vulnerabilities. So if you have this thing that, okay, if my app is secure or not, or if there are chances that can my app get attacked or not, or something like that, Lovable has solution for that. So you can review security of your application and make it much more secure. Now let's, for all the techies out there, we have switched to code mode as well. So if we click on this code mode here, you can see all the code stuff, because at the end of the day, what is happening? A code is getting written at the back end of the thing, and that's why your application is visible right, like on the right hand side. So all the source code is right here, and this is what exactly gets pushed to your GitHub repository. So you can switch to code mode as well here. Now let me show uh, how I initially prompted and how I created this retro game. So let me just take this link. Load a little bit. Yeah. So this was the very first, very initial prompt I gave to Lovable for creating retro games. Um, of course, I took help of ChatGPT as well. I created a very basic prompt structure and I fed it to ChatGPT. And what it did for me is like it created kind of a very structurized prompt, and it structurized it into four categories, which is like it gave me like app brief, it gave me navigation structure, it also gave me user flow diagram, then further on, it also gave me in-game, in-app experience flow and information architecture as well. So as you can see, I went very like in depth into a particular prompt, and I directly like I got this prompt of course from ChatGPT, and I copied it from ChatGPT and directly pasted it into my Lovable project. And let's see what initial version of this application looked like. So I fed that particular prompt, and this is how the initial version of the application looked like. So as you can see, very basic application. Only one game is present right here. We have a start game CTA. Nothing fun about this application right here for now. And I also felt the same thing that time when I was creating this application. We have choose game mode, but I felt that okay, uh, just keeping one game doesn't make sense. I want to create a collection of games. I want to create a repository of games. So I further went forward and prompted like, okay, include multiple games such as tic-tac-toe, snake game, etc. And I figured out that there were some glitches in this application. So I prompted that also I can see there are some glitches in this particular application. So please fix them for me. Then let's see what was the second version which Lovable gave it to me. So let me show. Yeah, so now much more better UI than the previous one, and as you can see now all the games are directly visible right in front of my eyes here. You can see classic form, you can see tic tac toe, you can see snake game, and when I click any of this game, it will again go to a mode and so on. And that's how I iterated with my prompt. Um, and if you think that with just initial version of prompt you will get an entire application built, I'm sorry, you are at the wrong place, but like you have to continuously reiterate with your prompt. With just single shot prompting, you won't get entire application built. So you have to continuously reiterate with your prompts. You have to continuously feed context, feed what you exactly need in your application. So that's the exact thing I did for this application. And further on, it created some versions, and eventually I realized that I also need to add some uh, login and sign up feature as well. So what I did is like let me show you the Supabase part of this application. So I felt that this application needed some database connection, some login, sign up, and registration feature. So I went a step forward and thought like let's connect this particular application to a database, like so so that I can sign in and sign up into this application, and also can save my game history. So let me show you how the Supabase connection works. So if you see at the top, I just mentioned that okay, I need database to be integrated, and I was very clueless how to integrate a database into a Lovable application. So Lovable suggested me that to get started, click on the green Supabase button as you can see here, which is on top right of your Lovable interface, and you can directly connect this application with your Supabase. So what I did is uh, I went to Supabase site and I created a project. And project creation on Supabase is very easy. So when you go there, it will just ask you name of the Supabase project, and that's it. So I just gave name which is like retro game for that particular Supabase project, and that's it. That was it. Like, and then I came back to my Lovable application and said that please connect my Supabase project, which is retro game, and it was automatically created here, and that's why it got fetched right here, and that's it. Like, that's how easy it is to create a full-fledged full stack application in 2025. So I just said like, okay, please connect my Supabase project retro game, and it did it. It literally connected, and it literally connected my this front end application to a backend database. So that's how easy it is to create application in 2025. Is now let me give you a demo of retro games, how this application works. So yeah, this is retro games. Of course, you can play all of these games as a guest user as well. So, for example, if I want to play tic tac toe, I will click on this, and you can see choose game mode here. So you can play with one of your friend as well, or you can play it with a bot as well. So for now, I will just click on this bot, and if I click, so this is player one, which is me, and it's X's turn, and bot is O. So if I click on this, bot is thinking, and bot also plays. So if I click here, if I click, let bot win this match. Okay, so bot won this match. Okay, so you have to get three win in a row, and you will win this tic tac toe game. So I also set constraints in this particular game, and we also have a lot of games. Let me show you this game as well. I am pretty sure if you are a 2000 or 90s kid, you might have played this game. And nostalgia kicking in 3, 2, 1. I hope like you remember this game, right? So we used to play this in our Nokia phones or something like that. So I created that particular game right here, and yeah, this is kind of crazy stuff which I created on Lovable. And let me also show you now. I can sign in here. You can also sign up. Go to Retro Games and sign up. You can create a new account as well. But I already have a logged in account here, so I will just quickly sign in and show you the game history part of the game. Yes. So as soon as I sign in into Retro Games, it will say, okay, welcome back, user. And now I can go to this history tab, history page, and you can see all of my game history here. So this everything is coming from database. It's fetching from database here. So yeah, this was all about retro games. Let me jump to second application, which is social shop circle. So let me get that link. So yeah, this is social shop circle. Let me show you what was the initial prompt. I I went forward and did the same process in this application as well. I went to ChatGPT and asked and gave a very basic prompt, and it gave me something like this for this particular application. And this was the initial prompt I gave. And let's see what was the initial version of this application. So let's just see what. Yeah, so this was the very first version of this particular application. As you can see, it's a very basic landing page, very basic e-commerce application. Of course, there are no images here. There are some bugs, there are some issues, and the social angle which I really wanted to bring it in this application, it's nowhere seen right here. So I went forward again, and what I did this time is like I created a full-fledged PRD kind of document from ChatGPT. Let me show you that particular prompt. Yeah, this is what I generated from GPT. So I kind of generated an entire PRD from ChatGPT, and I just command feed and command read here right here, and just copy pasted it right here, and let's see what was the version after I prompted the entire PRD looked like. So yeah, so now you can see that the social angle of the application is visible right here. So you can see recent activity, you can see friends, community, you can see what your friends are buying. Although this data are hypothetical, but you can see what your friends are buying, what are trending products in this particular application, and but still, as you can see that still that image issue is not yet fixed. So to fix that image issue, I thought why not integrate it with Supabase? Why not like bring a robust data into this particular application? So I did it. I connected it with Supabase. Let me show you the Supabase prompt. Okay, yeah, this is the Supabase prompt. Uh, Followed the same flow, like went to Supabase website. There I created a project called Shop Circle, and I just prompted this thing that please connect my Supabase project Shop Circle. That's it. Like, and it connected my Supabase project into this particular lovable application. Then I even went a step forward and I prompted something like, okay, I want you to create products in database with appropriate images for product listed, also trending now products should be also present in database. So those products should be visible in the front end of the application. So I gave a proper context, proper prompt, what this application should do. If it is connected with database also, it should fetch all the images and all the data uh, of of product list from database itself. And what it did for me is like it created some SQL queries right here. If you are techie, you can go deep into this SQL queries and you can tweak a little bit according to your requirement. But for me, I just wanted to fetch all the images, product images right from database because I was facing that product image issue in this particular application. So I just went through this entire SQL and I said like, okay, just I have reviewed the SQL and it looks good. Please run it for me. And what it did is this. And now you can see we have a better UI design for this application, and this all images are coming right from database, which is like Supabase. And let me give you a quick demo for this social shop circle as well. So yeah, okay. So I have already signed in into this project, into this application. So now if I want to add a particular product into cart, so if I add this particular product into cart, you can see the cart number has increased. So if I click on this, we have this proceed to checkout, and here comes the magic part, like the Stripe integration part. So if I click on this proceed to checkout, what it uh, does for me is like see this. Yeah, this application is connected to a real payment gateway, and it's so difficult. It used to be so difficult to connect a payment gateway to a front end application. So this can be done with Lovable, and that's how easy it is to connect your Lovable project to a Stripe payment gateway and API integration stuff you can do here. Let me also show you how I integrated the Stripe payment gateway, and also I will show you the Supabase part of the project. So what I did for Stripe payment gateway integration is like let me just quickly get this link. So again, I was clueless how to connect a payment gateway. Like like how can I even connect a payment gateway to this e-commerce application? I was really clueless, and again I asked Lovable, and Lovable told me that there are two things to connect any API. So you need two things. One is like secret key, and one is publishable key. And any of this API platform you want, for example, if you need to connect, if you want to connect weather API related stuff, they every API consists of secret key and publishable key. So I went to Stripe dashboard. Let me just quickly log in. Okay, it's signing in. Hmm. So this is Stripe dashboard. You can go to dashboard.stripe.com and you can eventually create an account using Google or like using OAuth or something like that, using Google and stuff. And what I did is I searched like here for API key. Okay, so this is the publishable key and secret key, which Lovable was suggesting me to pick from Stripe. And one very important thing, uh, you should never ever disclose publishable key and secret key like this. This is just for demonstration purpose. This is just for tutorial purpose. That's why I'm disclosing this right here. After this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all this publishable key and secret key, and I'm going to create a new set of publishable key and secret key, and I will hook that with my social short circle application. So never ever disclose your publishable key and secret key. So this is just for demonstration purpose. And this is how you get your publishable key and secret key from Stripe. And I just copied it, and then what I did is I went to Supabase. Let me open Supabase quickly, uh, which I created. So this is how the interface of Supabase looks like. You don't have to worry about this interface because all the thing will be done by Lovable, but I'm just explaining you how you can, if suppose like how to add your secret key and publishable key into Supabase. That's it. We won't be looking up something very technical about the Supabase. I will just show you how to add your API keys right here. So to add your API keys, you have to go to Edge functions. When you click on this Edge functions right here, you will see two options available here. So which is like first option is function, second option is secret. So you have to go to secret, and here you can add your publishable and secret key. So this is the value which is like publishable key, which goes right here, and this value which is like your token will go here, which is like your value, and you can add uh, another key like this. So you have to add this publishable key and secret key right here, and I have already added my secret key and publishable key as you can see here. So yeah, this is how you can connect any API. So if any API consists of publishable and secret key and publishable key, you can directly add it right here. And after that, I went to Lovable and said that okay, use secret key and publishable key that I have added in my database to create payment gateway connection to Stripe, and it did for me. And that's how I connected my Stripe payment gateway, Supabase, and sort of things. I'll just quickly show what all things are present in Supabase. So just to show that every data is coming from database only, because like it's not a dummy data which is coming in my application. So you can see a full architecture here of all the things in this e-commerce application has. We also have a table, which is table editor. So if I go to products, yeah, these are all the products which are getting showcased here. Yeah, these are all the products. So yeah, this is coming right up from database, which is your superbase in this case. That was social shop circle. Now let me explain one more thing. How you can basically let me yeah. So let me just show you how you can convert your Figma designs into Lovable. So for example, if you have created a Figma design in your Figma file, so for example, I have created this particular landing page, uh, and yeah, this is a very pretty basic landing page, but make sure your entire Figma design is properly auto layouted. It uses auto layout, and you can see that I have properly used auto layout right here. And let me show you how the output of this particular design looks like in my Lovable application. So go to dashboard. Yes. So this happens through a plugin called builder.io. So what you need to do is, if you're on Figma, you have to run this plugin called builder.io, and you have to copy some stuff from here. For example, yeah, this is the builder.io plugin. You have to just click on smart export, and it will give you something to copy here. So it's processing some assets for me, and yeah, let's look at this. Completed. Yeah, so you can just click to copy, and you can just go to your Lovable application, and I did the same thing. I just pasted the entire thing which it gave to me, and further on I also prompted that build a pixel perfect UI clone for this particular Figma design, and it created the exact version of the design. So now the Figma to Lovable is definitely possible. So you can see this application right here. So yeah, this is how we have some hover effect. Although you can make some tweakings into it by using Lovable, but yeah, now Figma, now you can, now any of us designer can convert any design into a working application by usage of Lovable. So yeah, that was it for the demo part. Now let me come to my presentation. I can find that out. Okay. Yeah. Yes, so I have created much more application like this on Lovable. So I have created another application called Tarot Card Reader. It gives you a daily reading, stone recommendation, and a personalized reading history. Further on, we have mindfulness landing page. I created a heavy micro interaction kind of website using Lovable, which is mindfulness, Mindflow. And here you can also see a feature called meditation timer, which is right here. Yeah, this is the meditation timer I created using Lovable. Yeah, so that was the demo part of the stuff. Now let's come to learning and challenges. Now I will talk about my learnings and challenges which I faced, because as you can see here, the city also realized that the struggle is real. So first learning, clear prompt is equal to better output. If you give a very vague prompt, you won't ever get your desired output. You need to specify every little detail in your prompt. Second learning, now you can validate your ideas faster than ever, because with just a proper plan and a prompt, now you can turn your ideas into workable apps faster. Third learning, AI tools need some human intervention for the UX polish. AI can get you 80% there, but that last 20% of the refined design still needs a designer's eye. Fourth learning, these tools are great for MVP, but if you think you can create the next Facebook or Google by just these tools, then I'm sorry, you can't. But maybe sometime in future, who knows? Fifth learning, The iteration struggle and AI hallucination is real. Sometimes AI invents some features or adds some code which you didn't even ever mention it. Last learning which I had was like tooling isn't always free. The result of a free tier plan and a pro plan is very different. So factor cost also in your workflow too. Now, the real struggle, like where to exactly start from. Like nowadays, there are too many tools available. There are so many updates going on, buzzwords and so on. Like, where do I even start from? There's this fear of wasting time, learning the wrong thing, and AI's learning curve feels steeper because it's changing every week. See, feeling overwhelmed is completely normal. Even pros feel it. So you don't have to worry about that part. What you should do is you should start small, create very basic application like games and stuff, and then build upon it. Like you can start small and build upon it and create something large eventually. Third thing is like try replicating whatever application you have created in a particular tool in some other application. For example, if you have created an application using Lovable, try those same prompts in, for example, in Figma Make as well. Try to see the difference between all this application output because the LLM which Figma Make uses Claude Sonnet and the LLM which Lovable uses is like a combination of Claude, OpenAI, and GPT and stuff. So try to figure out like what are some differences in the result you can see. And lastly, you can choose the tool that you vibe more with and go with that. Now, finding time to build any stuff. So I know balancing a full-time job with learning is a real challenge. Burnout happens if you try to do everything at once, not able to give any time during weekdays, no idea when the weekend comes and goes. See, I'm like, see, okay, I want to get up and do something, but I'm not able to do anything, dude. Like, how can I even remove time for this kind of stuff? What had worked for me is I'm genuinely curious about this stuff. So it's exciting how easy it becomes to make working application now. Because like coming from a software engineering background, I have seen the hardships and how tough it used to be. Like creating a very basic application with payment gateway integration, it used to be so difficult before. But by usage of these tools now, it's so easy to create this kind of application. Now, second thing which worked for me is like posting weekly and learn in public. So every week there's a schedule for me that okay, every week Tuesday 11:30 a.m. I have to post something on LinkedIn and Twitter, and that helps me keep that keeps me basically accountable and also builds my personal brand as well. Third thing is like I just devote 30 minutes of my day because like it's more than enough to experiment and build something small. Lastly, I focus on fun builds because that recharge me instead of feeling like extra work. So now I have also curated some prompt structures to help you get better results and help you get started. These are some prompt structures. You can take screenshot of this. Uh, but yeah, these are some six prompt structure which has worked for me. But I just want to say that start like use this prompt template for your starting point because like as I mentioned it previously, with just one prompt input, you won't be able to get the entire application. You have to continuously read it. You have so that's why this kind of prompt template you can use it as a starting point. For example, if I have to explain this particular prompt, how this works is like this is context, objective, and task prompt template. Where, for example, if you are working on a food delivery app where users can add meals to their order, and this is your context. Now ensure the order summary reflects all meals added, not just one. So this is your objective now. Now implement logic to update the summary with a complete list of nulls. So this is your task. So this is how this prompt template is formed. Another prompt template right here is issue behavior fix. For example, there are some issues in your Lovable application or in your current application. So you can define your issue in such a way, like for example, here I have added in my food delivery app, the order summary only shows one meal after adding multiple. The behavior can be it currently overrides previous mails with the latest one, and it clutters my UI. Now, the fix for this, the probable fix for this can be like redesign the summary layout to cleanly display all meals added. So these are some prompt templates. Feel free to use it, and you can check out other prompt templates as well. Now, you can also go to this official Lovable page related to how to prompt better, which is the Lovable Prompting Bible. Let me show it to you how this documentation looks like. So this is the official Lovable Prompting Bible document. You can just read out through this. There are some prompt templates, prompt structure which Lovable has by themselves created so that you can get better output. There's a 1 hour video as well, where all the folks from Lovable are explaining about this prompt engineering tactics. There are some more. So if you are a video person, you can watch this entire video, or else you can just read this documentation. And you can see this, the exact thing which I mentioned in my pitch deck, which is like context, task, guidelines, and constraints. So they are also explaining the same thing here. So you can go through this entire documentation and yeah, become like a prompt engineering master or what. So yeah, this was the prompt template part. Now for conclusion, see, vibe coding is reshaping how we build digital products now. It not only empowers designers but also product managers, developers, and various other roles to bring their ideas to life instantly with just AI and prompt. So this is the moment to adapt, explore, and lead by not just designing experiences but building them. So don't take stress, just vibe code. And all right, thanks everyone, and special thanks to Suraj and Friends of Figma Mumbai team. And now it's Q&A time, which is basically your chance to roast my application or ask if AI will steal your job. And also, I have attached this QR for this so that you can access this presentation. So thank you.
Perfect. Uh, Thanks, Siddharth, for the presentation. What I will do is I'll share my. What I've done is I've actually written down questions that a lot of people had in the chat. But before I go there, once again, thank you for the presentation. And I think people were loving the things that you built. I think especially retro games.
Hmm.
So that was very nice to see. But yeah, quickly jumping on the questions. Abhimanyu asks, is it also possible to do mobile apps on iOS or Android using Lovable?
Currently, no, it's just for web application for now.
Cool. Sanket asks, he created a reminder app with cursor. And what you noticed is often when he was trying to send notifications to the user, he was facing a lot of issues.
Mhm.
Eventually, cursor fixed one thing, but eventually broke another thing. Did you face the same challenge in Lovable?
Yeah, so, this AI hallucination is a real problem. If you like, there's this thing like, okay, if you fix one feature, then something else is breaking. But what you can do to solve this is like create a version history of the project so that if you create a version history of the project in GitHub or something like that, so you have a backup of this project ready. So if something gets like something gets bad in your application, something gets broke in your application, so you have this version history and you can reuse this code again. So yeah.
Okay. Janani asks, is there a possibility of connecting a domain from something like a GoDaddy and connect it with Lovable?
Yes, yes. Lovable provides you this option for adding custom domain as well. So you can connect your GoDaddy or any domain.
Nice. Bhumika asks, there have been times when she specifies the UI inspiration, she attached the photos, prompted well, and
Mhm.
still the result turned out to be similar in design with just a different color. What other approach would I take for this? I think for this, one thing which Siddhant showcased is the prompt structures. I
Yeah.
think that can be one. But I think there's one more thing which is called JSON prompting, which
Yeah.
has been trending recently.
Yeah.
Would you like to add something on top, Siddhant?
No, the same thing. The JSON prompting, I was just about to say that the JSON prompting is that works really well. And of course, you have to provide more inspiration from your, like, maybe if you're taking inspiration from Pinterest, then you can just add images. But I guess the JSON prompting works really well for now.
Someone just asked me, are you using a paid version of Lovable?
Yeah, I am using paid version of Lovable because free version is not giving that good results. So that's why.
Cool. There are a few more questions post which I think there's a question on Superbase which we'll pick up in the end.
Mhm.
There are a few more questions that are coming up on the chat right now. Any favorite vibe coding creators that you recommend we follow?
There's a person called Ashwin Ranganathan. So I've watched a lot of his videos. He runs a cohort as well. So yeah, I love his content on YouTube. So Ashwin Ranganathan, you can check it.
Cool. Sanket asks, how do you use these AI tools at Deloitte?
AI tools at Deloitte. So I can't disclose this information, but maybe to make some MVP stuff, he used this kind of AI tool. So not in the real application, not in the real thing, real project, but for MVPs and stuff, he do it.
Makes sense. Kashish asks, in the pro version, it's showing 100 monthly credits and 5 daily credits. So what's the difference between them?
So I also don't know. I have a documentation of the credit, how the credit part works. So I guess Lovable has this documentation called if you create like a very minimal change, for example, button change or something like that, so it will just cost you like 0.25 credits. So they play in that point factor. But now coming to the 5 and 100 wala thing, so I guess Lovable by default gives you like daily ka 5 free credits, which get added into your Lovable account, and 100 is your on top of that because like you have bought a pro plan. So that's the structure. But I can surely share that document of credits thing. So you can check that out.
Cool. I'll attach it in the email that goes out after the
Yeah.
event. Pranav asks, at any stage, do you need a Superbase subscription?
Currently no, because I'm just kind of making a very basic application. But if you're thinking to create a very large scale application, maybe yeah, of course you might need a subscription.
Makes sense. Sanket asks, the biggest drawback or limitation of these tools is not having the way to add your design system. I think for this one,
Yeah.
I can pick up. I think Figma Make introduced recently an option to add your design system. It's not fully there yet, but you can add it. Is there an option available in Lovable where you can do it?
I don't know in Lovable though, but then coming to Figma, they have Figma MCP. So this Figma MCP helps. So I have seen a lot of startups using Figma MCP and kind of creating a design system library in their code base itself. So I guess Figma MCP helps a lot in the design system making of it.
Digvijay asks, hey, did you learn prompting or was it just hit and run?
It started with like hit and run, but then I saw this one book called the Google, कुछ तो Google का there was Google Gemini prompting guide or something like that. So I just it was a very small like 50-page book. I just 50-page PDF ebook. I just went through that and I guess I learned that prompting from there. But prompt engineering, something like now you can generate it with ChatGPT. Also, your idea and your context are the main thing. So yeah.
Noted. Yeah, that basically means people do have to spend some time reading,
Hmm.
some time watching videos. I think our attention spans have went so down
Yeah.
that that itself has become an issue.
Yeah.
Um, Kaushal asks, so what if you have made a whole prototype made in Figma? How can we make it into a working app? Same exporting every screen with build.io or how?
So I tried. So what I tried this thing called like I created some prototypes on Figma, and then I just fed that prototype link to Lovable. It kind of worked and kind of broke. Uh, but I guess to make it work, like we have to just create static design in Figma, then convert each and every design to Lovable. So you can try like that prototype approach as well. You can feed that prototype link in your Lovable, but then it then gave me the best result, which I
Got it. Unyan asks, if you benchmark all the vibe coding tools, what stands out? Best sources to be updated about it.
okay, like which tool stands to top ऐसे मतलब I can like I vibe more with like Figma Maker and Lovable, so I like both of these tools actually.
And are there any sources that you follow to always be in touch about what's happening in the world of AI?
Twitter, yeah,
Twitter,
sorry,
right?
X,
I
yeah.
still call it Twitter,
Yeah,
but makes sense. Same. I think what I see is whatever's happening in like a US, we are kind of almost a week away until a lot of people catch up here.
yeah,
So Twitter, I think, is the place. By the time it reaches LinkedIn, it's too late.
yeah, that's
So
true.
Twitter is the place. Sanket asks, I think this is one more question, and we'll jump to the super base thing, which one
Hmm.
person was asking. How do you see the role of designer evolving in the future? It's a very broad question, I know,
Yeah.
but
Even I also don't know, but then what I have heard from my mentors and everything is like maybe sometime in future there will be just a single role called design engineer, uh, where he will like kind of create, of course, Figma designs as well. But that Figma design, he will be expected to convert it into a lovable kind of or Figma make kind of project, and then they can give that particular code base to their front end developers. So because like it's not like okay, you are creating this application, front end developers job is gone, but because like there are many things like caching and everything which front end developer does. So you will create a good starting point for developers, and you can just ship it to your developer buddies and everything. So this is what I think, and I have heard from my mentors. And
I agree as well. I think somewhere you will not just be a designer, you will be responsible for building it. I think prototyping is the future.
yeah,
Like you'll be mostly jumping into prototyping with the prompts, and that's why prompts need to be that detailed. And you can, of course, people who have attended, you can try out the prompts Siddhant shared. We will also share you the deck, so you can go through the deck and get the structure that Siddhant was structuring. I think one question was on Superbase, I think, which was asked a few times. Like, what is Superbase? Why do you need it? And if possible, can you show your Superbase dashboard?
yeah, sure. So. Uh, Yeah, so this is how Superbase looks like. So imagine this like as Figma or maybe like Lovable, but just for backend things. So now, if you are making a front end application, you can't just put dummy data, right? You because like if you keep that dummy data and you hit the refresh button right here, that data will get vanished. Okay, so that's why you need a robust data which is like coming from database. So that's why you need Supabase. So Supabase is like a company which has come up right now and became popular for creating this like database here, and you can basically create a database in this application. And if you like, so like think database something like which keeps your data secure or something, or keeps your data static. Basically it will not change. So what I just said is like if you refresh your application, your data will still remain in your application. So that's the thing with database does. Of course I'm giving a very vague explanation, But this is what Supabase does. You can connect your front-end application to database, and this is how my Supabase project looks like. So I have created a couple of them. So you can see Shop Circle, which I showed, and Retro Games. If I go to Shop Circle, this is the UI. This is the interface which I showed you in the demonstration. So here you can see a lot of stuff. If you know how to do backend coding, and if you know SQL and sort of things, you can go to SQL editor and you can do some custom coding here and stuff. But you can see all the tables right here. So whatever. So the thing is, in database, uh, everything is structured in a table format. So just like Excel, for example, if I have to give you a good example, if you see Excel also have this rows and columns stuff, right? So this database also consists of some sort of Excel kind of sheet. So this imagine this is a Excel sheet, and product is one sheet, and cart item is like your one sheet, but this is database. So this is where your information are getting stored. Then you also have the schema architecture. So this helps backend developer usually. So how a connection is made it from primary keys or secondary keys. So this is a very technical concept, but yeah, this is how a database, and what exactly is database and what exactly is database. So I hope that answered your question. But
Yeah, but I think in brief, Supabase is needed if you want functionalities like adding login
mm,
and things like you want to add images, things like those. So you add those in Supabase and you connect it with Lovable. As Siddhant showed, it's very easy to connect Supabase by just prompting Lovable to Supabase. I think Nikhil has a follow-up. So how is this data being added into that? Do we need to add into Supabase? For example, there's a e-commerce image.
mm.
So do I need to go to Supabase and add that image and then that will be pulled to Lovable?
No, no, you don't have to go to Supabase though. You just prompt directly in your Lovable application, because like once your Supabase project is connected with your Lovable project, that's it. Then you can just do your normal prompting and stuff. So you can just feed all of the data in your Lovable project, and it will store that particular data in your database.
Got it. And at any moment, if I want to change, I can still prompt and that image will be
Yeah.
updated in Supabase.
Yes.
Got it. Is there an option I can go to Supabase and update an image and that gets
Yes.
visible here?
I showed you that tabular format, right? So
Yeah,
you can edit right there as well. So you can edit all the information from there.
nice. Perfect. Perfect. I think those were most of the questions. I hope I could cover most of them. If not, apologies. And you can reach out to Siddhant directly on LinkedIn as well. He'll be more than happy to respond to your questions. But loved the energy in the chat as well today. A lot of questions, a lot of active, conversations going. So thank you for that. Siddhant, once again, thank you for the presentation, taking out your time. And I hope it was a very helpful experience for the attendees here. We had more than, I think, 130 attendees at one point. And kudos to the folks who are still here, by the way. It means a lot and it shows how dedicated
Yeah.
you are in terms of learning. And I can't wait personally to see what you all guys build. If you build something, do it at Friends of Figma Mumbai, and we will be sharing it with our community as well. I have only one small request before you people go is filling the feedback form, which Kunal has linked in the chat. That will help us do more events like this. This was an event which was asked by the community, so we did it. So when you fill the feedback form, there will be a section where you can tell what kind of events you want us to do. And since FOF is a community first community, we'll be doing what you say. So do fill in the feedback form. But once again, thank you for attending. We will be uploading this recording on YouTube and it will be up on our YouTube channel on Saturday. We'll be sending you an email with all the relevant links, the deck, the Bible, and everything, and the structure of the prompts and everything. So don't worry about that. And do spend some time on vibe coding. As I said, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Siddhant and the FOF Mumbai team. But that said, I think it's time for dinner. So I hope you have a good dinner and you have a good night, and hope to see you all in our next event. Thank you and see you soon. Bye.
Thank you so much.